The MobTube Chronicles 1 and the MobTube Chronicles 2 are on Amazon and on Amazon Kindle now. Please be sure to get your copies today.
Hello, everybody. It's been a very long time. I've been on hiatus for a little bit. I've been in deep mourning, obviously, over my Winston. And yeah, it was pretty rough, actually. It's kind of funny because I feel more like upset about him. Oh, look at him. I'm more upset about him than I have been about humans. It's so weird. Look at his little face. Anyway, they did give me a little plaque with his little paw on it, and I have his ashes. So he's actually back home. And here's the funny thing. I'm going to tell you a little story about that. So the first week was really rough. I mean, I really missed him, and Diana was looking for him, and oh my God. And I was outside on the deck, and I was really upset, and I just was saying, Winston. Well, before this, the gardener had come that day and mowed my backyard, and it was completely flat, nothing. You've seen my yard, nothing there. And so I'm out on the deck, and in fact, after the gardener had come, I went to check it. I always check it before I pay him, make sure he's, done what I wanted him to do. Because sometimes he forgets to edge certain areas, Anyway, so I'm out in the yard and I'm upset and I'm saying, Winston, if you're still around, give me a sign, which sounds crazy to some people, I know. But anyway, next morning, I go out there and I see this flower in the middle of the yard. It wasn't there the day before because I just had the grass mowed. And let me show you. I tried to put it on my StreamYards, but it wouldn't. It wasn't like a what is it called, JPG file, and I didn't have time to convert it. But I don't know if you can see this. Let's see. I don't know if you can. No, I guess you can't. No, you can't see it. Oh, crap. I really wanted you to see this. Can you see it from there? No. Okay. From afar, it looks like a pink rose, right? So I'm looking, I'm like, what is that in the middle of the yard? And Diana was out there. I don't know if you can. No, you can't see anything. Okay. Diana was out there. And actually, what I'll do, I'll see if I can post it to my community page. Maybe I can post it so then you can see it. It looked like a pink rose from afar, but Diana was out there and she was just staring at it. So I came down to see what it was, and looked, and it wasn't a rose, but it was this beautiful pink, almost looked like a tropical flower. And it stayed there for about a week, and then it died. And then, I've had the lawn cut since, and nothing, it's flat again. So I feel like that was my sign. Yes, I do. Anyway, I know some people don't believe, but I believe they stay around. I do. And I just thought that was so weird because I was so upset. And I'm saying, give me a sign if you're still here. And the next day, there's this flower in the middle of the yard. And let me tell you, my yard, there's never flowers. I've got flower beds around the side, but that's about it. Anyway, yeah, so it's been pretty rough and I haven't felt like doing anything. I haven't been keeping up really with anything. I've listened a little bit here and there, basically it's same shit, different day, the same old, fucking demented people rambling on about the same old shit. So was I interested in that? Absolutely not. You know, I caught little bits here and there. In fact, I was going to go on with Angela the other day, but I had to work late, and so I wasn't able to get up with her anyway. But you know, maybe when I get back, we can do a little something. We'll see. I'll try and keep up with what's been going on in these mob tube streets. There is one thing though that I did pick up on. Grumpy put up Edwin talking about cleavage and women not having self-respect. Well, I believe in freeing the nipple, Edwin. I don't know if you remember, you know, back in the day when I think it was the 70s. Remember the Burn the Bra campaign? Remember that, Edwin? I just wonder what you were doing then, you know. I have a feeling you weren't necessarily against burning the bra. You would have been a young man back then, or younger. You know, I'm not sure how old you are now, but I imagine you would have been much younger. But I want to, you know, put this to you, Edwin. You know, you said women showing their cleavage and this and that. You know, we don't do that on this channel. These women need to have self-respect. You know, first of all, Edwin, women, you know, boobs are there for a reason. We're given these for a reason. Mine actually talk. Hey, Edwin, how are you? Okay. Now, they're here basically to feed babies. That's why we're given these. Okay. Now, back in the day when I was 15, 16, I never had any. I used to cry. All my friends were in training bras. I was in a vest. I was flat as a pancake. I used to cry for breasts, you know. And when we went out, I would have to I'd put a training bra on, stuff it with socks to make it look like I had some, you know. Breasts are very important to women, even though we're given them to feed babies. That's not the only reason they're there. You know, they're part of our bodies, our sexuality in a way, if you will. Most men go straight for them, you know, Edwin. Anyway, what I'm kind of, you know, getting to is, for example, Edwin, you know, there are certain countries where women walk around with nothing up top. Africa being one of them. Get a load of them, Edwin, right? Do they have no self-respect? Do they? That's how they were raised. They walk around like that. Nobody bats an eye. Nobody cares, right? In Europe, for example, Italy, Spain, I can name several countries where when you go to the beach, this is how you go. Nobody wears a top. No one. Do they not have any self-respect, Edwin? That's how we're raised. When we go to the beach in Europe, people look at you crazy if you don't have a top on, you know, or if you do have one on, as opposed to not having one. Most people don't want tan lines and whatever. You know, I mean, let's be real. Nobody wants to look at a pair of boobs that are at your knees, do they? No. However, old women, young women, doesn't matter. You know, when you go to the beach in Europe, this is how you go, Edwin. So do they have no self-respect either? You know, the Ukraine, this is recent, you know. You got two women here, went topless in protest to stop the mines, right? Let's take a look at this one. Free the nipple. This was a festival here in the US, actually, you know. Do these people have no self-respect or whatever, Edwin? You know, it might, you know, upset your sensibilities that women show cleavage on here, but it's part of who they are. You know, if they got a nice little set, why not show them off? You know, most men actually like them. You know, you've got your few that don't like you, but you know, I don't see anything wrong with it at all. I mean, breasts are breasts. Nobody gives a shit. Now, it's a different matter if they're wandering around showing the other bit out, hanging out. I get that, you know, but boobs are boobs. I think here in America, you know, it's taken. In fact, here in America, you've got nudie beaches, you know, or places that you can go topless if you want to. Any country you go to, they have places you can go, you know, if that's what you want to do. So, you know, I think it's very judgmental of you to tar everybody with the same brush. You know, yes, these are here essentially to feed babies. Not that I ever did that, and I'll tell you why. Years ago, I was maybe, how old was I? I was about 17, and my girlfriend was 18, 19, and she had a baby. She got pregnant, had a baby. So she breastfed that baby because they were pushing breastfeeding at the time. And she breastfed that baby. Then a couple of years later, I think the baby was around 2, we were going out one night and I went to her house to get dressed. And, you know, we were getting dressed. She took off her bra. Oh my God, her boobs. And at this, let's say she was 18, 19, she was maybe 21. Her boobs looked like National Geographic cities. I mean, you know, when they're all elongated. I was like, I said, holy shit, what happened? You know, she said it was breastfeeding. It looked like they'd had the life sucked out of them. So yeah, when I had a baby, I was like, fuck no, that ain't happening. It wasn't just for that reason, wasn't just vanity reasons or selfish reasons. It was also because, you know, when you breastfeed, you're bound to that baby. I mean, back then they didn't have pumps and all that where you could stick it in the fridge or whatever. You know, you had to be there, you know, and I wasn't having that. Not only that, getting up every night, you know, no, he can get up sometime too. So it was easy for me to just give a bottle, and they've all turned out fine, perfectly healthy, nothing wrong with them. You know what I mean? But nowadays there's more to it. So I just want to say that to you, Edwin. There are countries, again, you know, shut your eyes if this is too much for you. This is how people walk around. European beaches. This is how people go to the beach and sunbathe, right? So give it a rest. You know, I don't know what happened to you, Edwin, but it's like you're losing your marbles. You know, what did you say? That's it from us, Edwin. Anyway, that's really all I had to say about that. Now, next week, I'm going to the Caribbean. Hang on a second. Oh, hang on. What the hell happened here? Oh, hang on. Oh, okay. Hold on 1 minute. Let me create it. Yeah, I had hold on 1 second. Let me put my glasses on because I can't see for shit. Hang on. Yeah. Anyway, next week, as I was saying, I'm going back to the Caribbean. As you might know, hang on a minute. As you might know, let's see. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 minute. Sorry about this. I thought I did this. 2, 1, 9. Let me see. 8, 7, 9. Okay. 8, 7, 6. Okay. Now, as you all probably know, some of the Caribbean islands, Jamaica, before we accept to see. Okay. Okay. So at the bottom here, I've put my Cash App. If anyone would like to donate to the Hurricane Fund, what's actually happened is I'm helping out a village in particular. I will be videoing it while I'm there. What happened is they weren't able to call out. All the power lines are down. It's going to take forever to get them back up. Internet is really, really scarce. What a lot of people are doing at the moment is going to the stores. Like the stores that are open have this thing that I think Elon Musk and somebody, Jeff Bezos, came up with. Is called Starlink, and it's like a satellite thing, and it runs off of the sun, solar panels, and it's powered by the sun, and that way people can hook onto that and are able to call their loved ones, call out. You know, a lot of those people have relatives in the US, UK, Australia, Canada, all over the place. They've been unable to contact them. And what's been happening is people have been going to like the supermarkets to try and get on the internet. And there's like 500 people there. So the supermarket people have got pissed off with that. So they changed the password. No one can get on. And so it's been very, very difficult for them. So what I did a fundraiser amongst my friends, and we bought the Starlink, and I'm taking that to Jamaica to the village so that all the people can hook on and they can call out. I'm also trying to raise money for so we can go and buy. There is aid there, but what the problem is, places like St. Elizabeth, the places that were Kingston, places that were really hard hit, they're getting the relief first, rightly so. I mean, there are people out there with no homes, their homes are gone. There's no food, there's no water, and rightly so. But the villages more inland, their homes were hit, people lost roofs, power lines are down. I mean, it looks a hot mess, but at least they still have a shelter, and so they're not deemed as important, if you will, as seen to the people that need like immediate help. There are women out there with kids, nowhere to go, their homes are gone, the food is gone, and they really need help over there. A lot of countries are helping, and but as I said, the hardest hit places are getting hit first. So what I want to do when I get there, as well as the Starlink, is also be able to buy rice, meat, goat, that's really what they eat, fish, so that they can cook, so they have something to eat. Right now everybody's trying to pull together, they are, but it's very, very difficult, even canned goods, and a lot of the stores, in the beginning, the stores, people, had bought what they could, but now, there was no money. People weren't able to they weren't able to contact people to send their money. And even if they did, there was no internet, the ATMs weren't working. There was just nothing. And so when I go, I do want to buy like rice and stuff to give to the people then, so that they have something. I mean, it's not a lot, I know, but every little helps. And I know it's a hard time for us here in the US and in UK too. I mean, but still, as they say, there's always someone worse off than you. And I know people are having a hard time here, so don't worry if you can't help. But if you can, even $5 would buy. They like mackerel. A can of mackerel is $1, so that's 5 cans of mackerel that they can, and it's canned because they can't put anything in the. There's no electricity, so there's no fridge or nothing like that. So it's mainly canned foods, and if you do buy meat, they got to cook it the same day. Anyway, I wanted to show you a little bit of what's going on. Hang on a minute. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little bit of this.
This is Black River, Jamaica, the epicenter, ground zero of Hurricane Melissa, coming in off the Caribbean Sea here, 185 miles per hour, Category 5. And I just want to walk you through this devastation because in person, it takes your breath away and it is remarkable. And we'll come over here and this tour will give you an idea of exactly the hell that everyone here went through. Look at this church, if you can. And Jared Maloney, meteorologist and field producer behind the camera. You see this brick structure, been here a long time. Jared, look at that. There is nothing left. The entire interior and the roof collapsed down on it. And you see this street as we head down the center of it. So many people right now are suffering. There is a desperate need for water and food and supplies. Helicopters need to land here. Vehicles need to find their way in here through the compromised and destroyed roadways in the mountains. In the mountains, all the vegetation is gone. It is bare. It is town after town that is completely decimated by a mix of 185-mile-an-hour winds and rushing water and rain 2 to 3 feet. And we walk down the center of what used to be a bustling community and is now completely in ruin. These people without a home, many people in shelters. And I have to ask you, I'm going to come over and talk to you guys. Is everyone okay? As good as possible?
Yeah, not too bad. Hey, what's up?
I'm Robert Ray with Fox Weather.
Yes.
Are you okay right now?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Where are you going to stay?
No, well, this was a business place, but the sea lick out the wall and empty out everything on the land.
What will you do now?
Now I'm just here waiting for the person, the owner, to come. Yeah.
And all these folks in this town that was once alive, right?
Yeah.
You guys will make a comeback at
Well,
some
it's
point.
hard. Hard. Need some help.
Big time.
Big time. Yeah.
And that's
big help.
we're trying to make the world understand that aid needs to come in.
Yes.
And I know the officials are too. We talked to them. In fact, we're going to show some of that in a second. But thank you, sir. Thank you for talking to me. Be well. Be well.
Okay.
We're going to walk back over here through the debris fields, concrete and wood, parts of buildings as far as the eye can see, and just kind of continue to walk through here. 6 people have lost their lives, at least at this point here. Over 40 around the Caribbean because of Melissa. U.S. aid is coming in. State of California is sending in search and rescue because they still need that here. We're going to traverse this debris field to give you a feel for how desperate and horrible this actually is. Jared, come up here, please. And I just want you to see this right now. And you look at this situation, and it is as far as the eye can see. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. Maybe the closest, these tsunami, Christmas Eve.
Sorry, you don't really need to see too much more. That's basically all over the island. You know, there are women and children out there with nowhere to go, nothing to eat, nowhere to live. Aid is coming in, but as I said, it's going to this where he is. Black River is where I'm going, and that wasn't as hard hit as St. Elizabeth and areas of Kingston, where you know just everything is gone. You know, there are women and babies out there, and it's heartbreaking. So I know everyone, it's a hard time. Christmas is coming up, but I'd appreciate any donations so I can buy food for them. And, you know, we've already got the Starlink. I managed to raise the money for that. And, you know, anything else they need, really. It's heartbreaking, you know. But they will bounce back. They'll bounce back. They're resilient people, and they will bounce back. But as you see, the devastation is horrendous. So any little help helps. If you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. It's okay. But I will be videoing from there and showing you the setting up of the Starlink, and you know, any food that I buy, I'll show the distribution to the people, because you know, when they're saying aid's coming in and whatever, it's not really getting to the people fast enough. Anyway, that's it from me. So Edwin, while you're busy blessing rapists, women abusers, the stuff you're doing right now, maybe say a prayer for the people in Jamaica, you know, Cuba, same thing. I can't remember which other island was hit. I know Cuba was. Cuba went through. Cuba's having it pretty rough. Haiti always does. You know, it's a sad state of affairs. So maybe instead of concentrating on women's breasts, you know, pray for the people that need the prayers and not the people that don't. Anyway, that's it for me, my loves. I'm leaving next week. I will video while I'm there and show you, you know, the recovery efforts and what's going on. And I'll see you next week. Bye, y'all. If I can find my mouse. Every time this happens,